Hey guys, welcome back to Canon Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Now, I know I am very, very late, and it was hard for me to keep up with the What If episodes because Tiff got in the way. So I'm just going to do a quick recap of my favorite episodes, my favorite characters, and, an episode ranking of the entire season. So the last episode that I remember reviewing was the Doctor Strange episode ahead of Tiff, and it was a great episode. We got to see a different side of Doctor Strange. We got to see a darker version of him who could eventually, pop up somewhere in the MCU, because What If is canon to the live action MCU. So afterwards, I felt like the episodes were kind of slowing down. The character selection in each of them didn't really do much for me, and it started to get repetitive in how they were placing certain characters in similar storylines and then not really changing. I noticed with Captain Carter's that they were just plucking Peggy out of that said universe and placing her in typical Steve Rogers scenarios that we've seen multiple times before. So the 2 times out that we saw Peggy Carter, that's how I felt. It was like the first Avenger line by line, and then it was the Winter Soldier in the final episode line by line. So it just, for me, I think that they could have done so much more with Captain Carter, and I feel like they didn't really change that much about certain scenarios and certain episodes. So for me, What If was strong. Did it feel underwhelming? Yes. Was I disappointed? I don't think disappointed is the right word, just because they took a risk with What If. They're leaning on animation, which is great, and they're trying it out, and there's so many different stories that you can tell through animation, which is completely different than live action. There's so much you can do, and we've seen that in this first season. There are no limits to what they can do with animation, and that's great. You see characters at full capacity, you see different versions of characters, and that was what If was supposed to do. Now, my personal MVP, the star of season 1, I could not get enough of her, and that was Natasha Romanoff. I think within these 9 episodes, we got a better version of Natasha, the version that we've all wanted. She was a kick-ass Black Widow, and Natasha had these connections more with Nick Fury and Clint Barton than we've seen in the live action. We've seen like little snippets, yes, but we haven't had full development of her connection with these characters, especially with Clint Barton. They really did put the focus on that in every episode that she was in. She was central focus majority of the time, and I love that. I love how smart she was, how fun she was, and she was just such a badass majority of the time. So Natasha Romanoff, 100% MVP of this season. So that is one character that really stood out to me. The second character that really stood out to me, obviously, was Doctor Strange. Again, I'm someone who wants to see the full capacity of a superhero. We saw Doctor Strange at full power, and half of the things that he does in What If could have been done in the live action MCU, in Infinity War, in Endgame, and we did not get that. So it's kind of irritating watching him just annihilate the opposition with his magic. So it's just something that I wish they could have just done, but I do understand that there's going to be a slow build. There's always a purpose with Kevin Feige, so I do get it. It's just watching What If and seeing Doctor Strange like a full power. It was just so much fun to see this side of him. Number 3, obviously, is T'Challa as Star-Lord. It is a beautiful send-off to Chadwick Boseman. I was really happy with it. And this is just again, it's a different side of Chadwick. It's a different side of T'Challa. Like, he still holds that regal nature to him, but he was just so much fun as a Ravager. And we got to see that in the episodes at the end. So it was just a fun side. And it's one of my favorite episodes as well. So speaking of favorite episodes, I'm going to go into my rankings. So coming in at number 9, I have Party Thor. Did not like it. If you know me, I do not like Thor Ragnarok either. So this strays so far away from the Thor that I love, from Kenneth Branagh's Thor. So I know that's like an unpopular opinion, but I just did not get behind Party Thor. I also thought that the placement of Party Thor in this season was really weird, and it should have been like earlier on, like at least the first 5 episodes, I would have placed Party Thor. So I think that was also a misstep in regards to how people can enjoy the episode, because it just felt disjointed with the final 2 that came after it. So that's why it's at number 9. Number 8, I have the Killmonger episode. Did not like the writing for Killmonger. Really tired of like Tony Stark in general, which is so sad to say, but I am. I didn't think the characters really clicked too well, and I didn't like that storyline whatsoever. And then coming in at number 7, I have the whole Dead Avengers with Hank Pym and all of that. I thought that was really interesting. And coming in at number 7 was the Marvel Zombies. I just didn't care for it. I didn't vibe with the zombies. Again, seeing Cap as a zombie was cool, sure, but the episode fell flat for me as well. Coming in at number 6, as much as I love Captain Carter, it felt really generic for me. And like I said before, you just took her out of that timeline, plopped her into Steve's body basically, and just rehashed the exact same thing. So it was repetitive. Coming in at number 4, the Watcher breaking his oath, which is the finale. I thought that was really strong. Getting the Guardians of the Multiverse together, I thought that was really cool, and each of them fighting, Vision-Tron, if you want to call them that, was really awesome. They each have their own special powers and abilities, so it was really cool to see that. Thor with all the hammers and Doctor Strange working together, I thought that was really cool. So the finale was strong, but I did feel underwhelmed just because it had to deal with the Infinity Stones again. It's like, this is something that we've already seen, so just give me something different. Coming in at number 3 is the Doctor Strange episode. As I said before, seeing a different side of him, just so many layers added to him, and I just really appreciated that storyline with Doctor Strange. You felt that connection with with Rachel McAdams, and that's something that we did not get in the live action either, so she was kind of brushed aside. So I'm happy that we were able to explore their love and their relationship in a kind of like Groundhog Day way, which is just so heartbreaking. Coming in at number 2 is the T'Challa Star-Lord episode. What can I say? I love Chadwick Boseman. It was fun. We got, a spy version of Nebula, which she looked amazing. And of course, we're all going to call T'Challa Cha-Cha in the future. So that was really fun to see. And coming in at number 1, What If Ultron 1, that is the Nat Clint episode. And I loved it so much. I really love seeing the barriers break of the multiverse. I love seeing Clint and Nat's relationship. We got to explore that a bit more. So just seeing more of them, seeing the possibility of Zola returning, and, the combination with Ultron and all of that, and the AIs. He's out there. He's always out there. So I thought that was really, really cool. And that's why it's my number 1. So those are my episode rankings. What If was cool, a bit underwhelmed. I hope they push the boundary a bit more in season 2. It did kind of feel repetitive after a while, but I had fun. It was great. We need some what if scenarios to actually happen in the live action. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always find me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.